Good day, I'm Andrea Chizom and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, May 13. We begin with the news from Parliament.
A bill entitled An Act to Amend the Constitution of Jamaica to provide for the replacement of appeals to Her Majesty in Council, with new provisions for appeals to the Caribbean Court of Justice as Jamaica's final appellate court, and for connected matters, read a third time and passed.
That was one of 3 bills passed in the House of Representatives yesterday to have the Caribbean Court of Justice replace the UK-based Privy Council as Jamaica's final court of appeal. With a divide of 42 to 21, the Constitution Amendment Caribbean Court of Justice Bill got the required 2/3 majority as House Speaker Michael Peart exercised his right to vote. A 2/3 majority is necessary when amending entrenched provisions in the Constitution. The 2 accompanying bills which do not amend the Constitution were passed on a 41 to 21 divide. They are the Judicature Appellate Jurisdiction Amendment Act 2012 and the Caribbean Court of Justice Act 2012. All 3 pieces of legislation will now move to the Senate, where the Constitution Amendment Caribbean Court of Justice Bill will again require a 2/3 majority vote to be passed. The 2 accompanying bills need only be passed through a simple majority vote. Meanwhile, parliamentarians also voted in favor of entrenching local government in Jamaica's constitution during yesterday's sitting. The Constitution Amendment Local Government Act 2014 was passed with 57 MPs voting in favor of the bill while 6 abstained. When he opened the debate on the bill in January, Local Government and Community Development Minister Noel Arscott said the goal was to put the people at the center of the management of their own affairs.
The changes proposed in this legislation are the best means of accommodating local government as an active, functional organ of development within the Constitution.
Under the legislation, local authorities are being given the ability to perform regulatory functions to facilitate the management, improvement and development of resources of local communities. The bill also allows Parliament to make provision for local authorities to generate and spend their own revenue and to provide for the holding of local government elections. The legislation will now go before the Senate for its approval. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is working with the Coffee Industry Board and other stakeholders to ensure the timely replanting of coffee as ongoing bushfires ravage current crops. In a statement to Parliament on Tuesday, Portfolio Minister Derek Kellier said the ministry had already identified the source of 100,000 seedlings for replanting in the fall crop starting in September.
In addition, Mr. Speaker, the ministry will be assisting with the provision of some inputs to assist with the replanting program, fertilizers, etc., etc. And our extension support team remains on full alert and on the ground to provide the necessary advice and extension services.
The minister told Parliament that bushfires caused by the current dry spell was significantly impacting prime coffee-producing areas in the Blue Mountain Belt.
Fortunately, as advised by the Coffee Industry Board, over 90% of the current coffee crop was already reaped prior to the fires. Nonetheless, it is estimated that the loss over a 3-year period will be some $100 million, and an additional $100 million will be required to assist with the replanting program.
The minister expressed sympathies to the affected farmers, even as he commended them for their resilience. He meanwhile reported that the Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing had given its commitment to replace the houses that have been destroyed, while other assistance was coming from the Labour and Social Security Ministry.
The Welfare Services of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security has provided immediate assistance in the form of beds, blankets, mattresses, food packages and other supplies. And compassionate grants are also being prepared at this time.
And in the wake of this latest bushfire, the Agriculture Minister is appealing to farmers to stop using burning as a means of clearing land.
I'm beseeching our farmers to resist the temptation to light fires. And I urge you to speak to your RADA officers about alternate means of clearing lands.
He had a similar urging for other members of the public who continue to burn their garbage and other items.
Desist, therefore, from indiscriminately throwing your cigarette butts anywhere or everywhere, or lighting fires to get rid of your solid waste.
In other news, Jamaica's economic credibility is improving and must continue to be commended, says economist Dr. Damian King. He was speaking recently on JIS TV's Issues and Answers program. Dr. King said the discipline exercised by the government through the economic reform program had allowed the country to once more gain credibility in the global finance arena. Yesterday, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) announced that the country was on track to pass its 8th straight review since the government entered into an agreement with the fund in 2013.
2 years into the program, Jamaica has now shed the reputation it had for not being faithful and committed in implementing IMF programs for the previous 25 years.
Dr. King said the country's economy would improve and the social landscape, such as the health and education sectors, would be better off as a result of the program that's now being implemented. And finally, government is again appealing to public sector workers to negotiate wages and salaries in the context of Jamaica's ongoing economic reform program. At a press briefing on Tuesday, Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips said Jamaica still faced a restrictive fiscal environment and the 9% of GDP target for public sector wages and salaries was still on the books.
We continue the negotiations in good faith in that context, recognizing ultimately that any expenditures above what was targeted will have to be compensated for by reductions elsewhere.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.